Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Garden a Little. Thank you so much for all 528 of you for supporting my journey, coming back to my channel, liking, commenting, subscribing. If you're new, come on over to the family. I don't bombard you with videos. Some might say I even post too rarely. I try to do it once a week. When it gets busy, you know. But if you have been here, thank you so much for sticking around, because today is another garden walk around, but also maintenance and all of that. So let's get started. So my tomatoes are looking a little rough. There's some that have succumbed to the weight of the tomatoes, but they are still green. So we'll harvest all we can, but I need to clean this up a little bit. So come along with me. I got this cool harvesting basket. It has holes on one side and you can wash your produce in here and just drain it out. And it's been really handy. So I'm going to be harvesting today in this basket. Collected some beautiful tomatoes and peppers out of this bed. I think here in the next couple of months, maybe in October, November, this all will be cleaned out. And I think I honestly want to commit to planting garden this year. I know I said that last year, but let's make a commitment. Garlic in this bed this year. Okay, my brassica bed has just had enough of all of the little critters chewing at it, so it was literally just devastated, and I ripped it all out and gave it to my chickens. My ladies already made quick job out of that, ate all of that up. I only have cabbage left there in the corner. I'm not sure why. It kind of looked good, so I left it. It's very tiny though, so I don't know what will come of it. I planted some leftover petunias on the edge there, and I also planted 2 zucchinis in this bed. So here's one coming up, and there's another. So hopefully we got maybe not a wasted space here, but some zucchinis growing. I'm going to just really quickly clean this bed up, prune some of the branches, and then we'll get back to the garden tour. I'm actually going around and topping off my tomatoes. Basically, I just find the top of a tomato plant and do one of these, because then the tomato won't be focused to grow any taller. It will just focus on ripening the fruit that it already has. And that's basically what I want. It's a beautiful 70 degrees today. The high is 74. Which is beautiful, but that means that the hot weather is not going to be lingering any much longer. So I want these guys to ripen up. Then moving on to my eggplant bed. They are much smaller than they were in the years past, but we have some eggplants coming along. Here's another one, a good one. So they're doing fine, except we don't have much fruit forming. The plants themselves look great and they are flowering. I don't know, maybe they were shaded out for much too long of the season, so they're kind of taking their sweet time. But my cucumbers are doing really well. They are starting to flower and climb this trellis so I can get the second wave of cucumbers. On the other side of the trellis, I have some beans growing and I have to collect them. So let's do that. And also my cucumbers, I also have to collect. Looking beautiful. These beans are no longer green beans. I'm going to wait them for dry out and shell them. Some beautiful cucumbers, peppers and tomatoes. My herb garden is doing really well too. We have some dill growing, still some parsley growing, some wildflowers. Oregano is doing amazing. Basil finally came up. I really wanted to flower though because I wanted to spread its own seed, so I'm leaving it alone. I'm not clipping it off anymore. Rosemary is doing good. It really is growing. I bought these from This and Thyme from the store because I just did not succeed starting from the seed, so I'm gonna leave them be. They are really growing, so that's great. We have a couple more bumblebee tomatoes to harvest right over here, and a couple more peppers, so let me do that real quick. So right where my cucumbers are, as you can see, they are slowly starting to die back. So I planted some sweet and snap peas along the side here. So once these guys started dying off in a couple of weeks here, I have something growing instead of them, so this place is not wasted. My green beans are still doing really well, still green and still pumping up. My nasturtiums are doing great. These buena mulatas, I feel like they are way too much in the shade. So although they're producing quite a bit of green and foliage, they're not really producing any fruit. My marigolds, on the other hand, look at this beauty. So beautiful. I am really glad I planted these guys. Once they dry up, I put them in the chicken coop to deter any pests there. And then my corn bed / squash bed. So I've harvested one squash, another squash went bad. All the zucchini is gone, so I ripped it out, gave it to my chickens, and now it is time for corn. So most of my corn produced at least one ear of corn, and most of the hairs are already dry, and I think that's when I'm supposed to harvest. So let's see here. Just like that, that came off very easy. Makes me think that it's ready to eat. Let's actually see though if it's ready. So that same corn. So we have some spotty germination is what I call it. On one side it looks really beautiful, on the other not so much. Basically some of these hairs did not get pollinated, but still not too bad for a first time growing corn. I'll take it. Wow, I've never eaten raw corn, but it is really good. So, although spotty germination, this stuff is great. And the thing is, even if you leave this on longer on the plant, it's not gonna magically fertilize all the other kernels. So eventually it will just dry up or rot. So you might as well just harvest your corn and enjoy it. Most of my corn still has some time to go, but basically what you're looking for is dried up hairs like this. This might be even a little too early to harvest too. So I'm leaving most of these guys to fully ripen up. The thing is that I have quite a bit of these guys. Have you ever seen them? Apparently these are like delicious, expensive fungus looking thing, and it happens to your corn and you can sell it or something. I don't know. Basically it's disgusting. And unless you are specifically growing corn to develop fungus looking thing like this, this is kind of no use unless you really like the taste of this. I'm not even gonna try. This just goes straight to my chickens, and I know some of you are gonna be like, that's such a big waste. I don't have anybody to sell this to, and I don't have time to negotiate and set that up. Altogether it just looks nasty and black and very soft. So even if I touch this, it just kind of like melts into it because it's a fungus. So I don't even know if it's like safe to be around, but people really love it apparently. So don't freak out if your corn looks like this. Some people love it. So if you have folks like that around you, just give it to them. And now coming to this bed, here's my catnip kind of reproducing. I need to snip this because I do not want all the seeds to go everywhere. So let me just snip this real quick before I forget. Catnip is in the mint family, and if you don't upkeep it, it will spread like wildfire in your garden. So make sure you have it under control. So even though these are flowering, they have not dried up yet, so they're not spreading around their seeds, which is great. And I want to keep this corner nice and tamed. My cats absolutely love catnip, fresh catnip. Like this corner constantly gets rolled on by all my cats, but I want to keep it contained. And also this is kind of pretty. So if you remember with the rest of this bed, I planted some more corn to grow, and it's finally starting to grow. I don't know if it's gonna have enough time to produce anything really, just because of the temperatures kind of going down, and they still have a long way to go. My tomatoes over here are just kind of growing foliage at this point, not really producing anything. I'm just leaving this bed be for now. Soon though, these sunflowers will have to come out. But look at these gorgeous sunflowers. This bed really got taken over by this beauty, this monstrous beauty. And I'm leaving them be to dry out so I can harvest the seeds and possibly just sprinkle them throughout my property. But right now, bees absolutely love these sunflowers. They're constantly getting pollinated, constantly getting action, and look at this beauty. So I'm leaving them be for now. And we are back to the place where we all started. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you have not started your seeds for fall garden, do so now. If you're in zone 6A, that's where I'm at, it will be a perfect combination to follow along our gardens. If you're a little in a cooler climate, you just gotta do things a little earlier than me. If you're later, you gotta do things later than me. So that's basically it. I have started some squash seeds like I showed you here. I also started some Brussels sprouts, cabbage, broccoli seeds, things like that to plant along my garden as well. So I'm going to be planting that out here soon. Otherwise, my strawberry bed, the thing that I did not show you, it's still producing 1 or 2 strawberries, but I'm gonna have to do some serious pruning to this strawberry bed if I want any more strawberries being produced next year. Basically, there are clusters of runners clustered all over, and I need to be pruning them because they will suck out the life out of all the other plants and not be able to produce any fruit. So that's a project for fall time. But for now, I think that's enough. We harvested a ton. We clipped some things that needed to be clipped, and we had a great morning in the garden where it is beautiful, 70 degrees, not too hot, not too cool, sunny, amazing. And I'm about to throw all the scraps to the chickens so they will have a good time as well. And I'm gonna be enjoying the rest of the day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope I'm inspiring you to grow your own food, your own garden. Have a great one. Bye guys. Left catnip for 1 second. And this guy got it. All of it.